This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Apparition Scents, an outdoor and sporting goods company based in Dilliner, Pennsylvania. All of their scents developed and hand bottled with strict attention being paid to every detail. Contact them today at 724-998-7646 or check them out at apparitionscents.com. 100% lethal or your money back guaranteed. Get a hold of them today at 724-998-7646 or check them out at apparitionscents.com. All right, guys, welcome to another episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls. Tonight I got Dan Hall here with me, co-host, and also co-host Dave Young, which is actually moving into a little production role here with us. So we got lots to talk about tonight in a short amount of time. We'll run a little behind. So let's get started with the show that we just come back from, Dan. You want to talk a little bit about that? We was at the West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show there in Morgantown.
Yeah, we was, Michael. You know, it was a good show. It's put on real well. I really enjoy that show. They do a great job. Actually, this year they opened up the other side that they had just finished too. So that was nice. I don't know if they'll do that again because I know they spent well over $1 million+ on that flooring for that whole basketball court sides, man. But I will say that was probably the coolest basketball floor I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was nice. But there were some things that we didn't agree with, and
absolutely,
you know, I'm super stoked that they had the Davison brothers there, but you know, us and some of the others would have loved to go be able to watch that event ourselves as vendors.
Yeah.
So I think it would have been a great idea to have that in the last 30 minutes of the show and then kind of bring those people in before the show so they could still go around and meet all the vendors and go by their booths and things like that. Because to be honest with you, once that show was over, every one of them people left.
Yep. Yeah, they did. And you know, like you said, it was an awesome thing to have, but it lasted like right at an hour and a half, somewhere around that they were singing. And it was at like 4:00. So for an hour and a half, we was dead. There wasn't nobody walking around, nobody to talk to. They was all interested in that concert.
Yeah. Yeah, and, you know, like I say, LaBeth, she does a great job organizing these things, and I think they just tried something different this year. And I don't personally, as a vendor, and some of the other people that we talk to, don't think that was a very good change. So hopefully if they plan on doing that in the future, then they plan on doing it at the end of the show. You know, both days really, because they had the Star Wars thing, which was great for the kids. It brought a lot of the kids in, and some of those people stayed with, you know, after it was done, but a lot of them didn't as well. They came for the Star Wars lightsaber show and they left. So those were some things that we would change. But you know, when we go to these shows, we always have a good time. We always make good contacts. You know, it's one of those things that happens every time. You always have a great time. So,
oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, like even talking about a lot of them other vendors. You know me, I like to get out and wander around, talking with people. And I did during that hour and a half lull, I kind of walked around and was talking to several different vendors, and it was kind of the same consensus. Man, this is really hurting us because nobody's out here walking around. We're going to mention this to the staff, and pretty much everyone said it. So I would say they'll get some pretty good feedback on that. And well, good, bad, or indifferent, but they're going to get some feedback.
Oh yeah, they will. And you know, we met up with some great people. I can't remember the gentleman's name. We got his card, but he was with Gray Wolf Armament here in West Virginia, new store that opened up. They want to start carrying our products. We talked with Dave Whitaker from the Warriors in the Field, and I believe you, Dan, may be going on a hunt or a fishing trip with them here soon. So, you know, Dan's a veteran, and that's one of the things we like to do on our show is we like to give a salute to valor on every episode. And we've teamed up with Warriors of the Field and have donated them some things from True Timber Outdoors, some of their fishing SPF shirts. So all their fishermen going on their trip here in June will have some True Timber SPF, camouflage shirts on. So that'll be good for them guys.
Yeah, that will be good. That'll be fun. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna check my schedule. He did extend the offer to me as a veteran to partake on a fishing trip there, but we'll see how my schedule works. And I mean, that'd be awesome to be able to partake in that.
Yeah, and he told us the story. We're going to have him on the podcast at some point in time. If he's comfortable talking about that, but he has a kind of a unique and crazy story behind how Warriors in the Field started. Dave was not in the military, but his family was, and
Right.
that lies where Warriors in the Field was created. So we'll let him talk about that once he comes on. But yeah, other than that, we ate some good food. Went to the Green Turtle up there and ate, and went to Chili's and ate. Always having good food. So
Yeah, just gotta, one thing about the Chili's, you gotta be quiet.
oh yeah, I thought you were telling me to be quiet. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, you're
we
a
were
little
in
bit
Chili's.
loud there. Yeah,
Yeah,
sir.
we were
You're,
in Chili's, and Chili's is a place to where we're over there sitting by the bar, and this is a massive
14
bar
people
in this
deep.
place. Yeah, 14 people deep at this table, and if you go on the other side of the wall where there's actually windows and stuff, there's a dining room. So if you don't want loud people and people cheering for the UNC and the Duke game that was going on, one of the biggest games of the night, then you probably shouldn't have been sitting in the bar area. I mean, come on.
yeah, that was a first for me. I think I've never been
Yeah.
told to be quiet when we wasn't even that loud, but it was just
No,
fun.
we
Even
wasn't.
our waiter said, he was like, "I'm sorry, guys." He said, "I don't know what's going on, but the manager
Yeah.
had to come out, and he's like, I don't think you guys are that loud. I mean, you're no louder than anybody else watching sports games." But yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. And, he was good. We tipped him well. He
Oh,
got
yeah, he-
very well tipped from our table that night.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I'm sure by the end of the night, I'm sure he enjoyed that table.
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah. Okay. No, I was going to talk about. I mean, there was a lot of people coming through that show. What did you see out of that, Michael? I know what I seen. It was odd on how everything went down with that show for people.
Well, I just think that I don't really know how to put it, but it wasn't geared more the things that they had scheduled to draw people in as extras wasn't geared towards the outdoors, in my opinion, and it didn't draw the outdoor hunting community crowd kind of thing. That's my point on it. I don't know, but we've been to that show in the past and we've done well, and other vendors have done well. And it may just not have been a good show for us. You don't have good shows sometimes. So it may
Right.
just be that, because I did talk to Bugsy's Baits and he done well. But there were several pro fishermen that had came there because I think they were having some kind of a Bass Nation thing up there, Bassmaster Nation or something. But
Right.
yeah, other than that, I just like you was saying, it was just weird this year. So
Like I was saying, what I've seen. We've been to a lot of these shows now, and you can see things and judge things. What I seen was there was more people out there. I don't know if they was just out there to get their steps in, or what it was. But they just watching down the aisles, different vendors, not just ours. They just wasn't stopping. They was just walking straight through, up and down the aisles. Wasn't stopping at any booth and looking.
It wasn't a buyer's crowd, in my opinion. We done what we do at all these shows. We introduced some kids to the outdoors. We taught them how to call on turkey calls, and I'm very thankful that we got that opportunity. But that was very few and far between, because we usually do it more, but there just wasn't that many people that was interested in that. So
Yeah. You know,
I don't know. I mean,
speaking on that,
and
teaching the kids,
yeah, go ahead.
we had that. You remember that one little boy? He come in there. He was trying to play all the pot calls, and then he started grabbing the grunt calls, and he wanted to play them. And you know, that's a mouth played object. So he
Yeah.
he did end up getting a hold of one and was learning how to do it, and he figured it out. And
Yeah.
he did sucker his mama into buying it for him though. So it worked
Oh,
out
yeah.
for us. We didn't have to kind of scrap that one, but he was tickled pink to be able to have that. And after we showed him how you can change the sound of it, the pitches,
Yeah.
and it makes it sound like different animals at the time. You know, you can get a doe or a young buck or a real mature buck. He was stoked about that.
Yeah, and we have kids do that all the time. That's why we carry those Clorox wipes. We'll wipe those things down because you got these small kids come by there and they're just like, they see us over there hooting on the owl hooter and doing the turkey calls and stuff like that, and they're just amazed. Some people have never seen it, you know, and they love it. It draws them over there to our booth. So, but one thing I was going to say, I can't remember when you came in there. I forgot all about it. So.
Yeah, it happens. You can remember here in a little bit. You'll get it.
Yeah, I think I was going to talk about how crowded the restaurants were. We were fumbling around to get in somewhere because we're staying at the Candlewood Suites, and we go over to the Green Turtle, which is just a walk away. You know, it's like 300 yards from our place we're staying at there, and they wasn't letting anybody else in the restaurant, and I'm like, is that? I've never seen that before. I've never heard of a restaurant turning people away because they just didn't want to have any more people in their building. I don't think they were maxed out because the bar was completely empty, and they got like a 75-foot bar in that place. I mean, it's huge. And so we were scrambling around calling. You know, we called Texas Steakhouse. We called Longhorn. We got on both of the lists there that was an hour and a half long. And then George with Hunter's Choice, they call Chili's, and Chili's is like, well, if you can get down here in like 10, 15 minutes, we'll set every one of you. So we go down to Chili's thinking, oh my God, this place is freaking packed because the parking lot was, you know, there wasn't hardly any place to park. We parked all the way in the back, and we go inside, or you and Trevor went inside, and y'all gave me the thumbs up motion being, I was like, well, let's try this out. So we go in, and within 5 minutes they had us set it at a table for 14 people.
Yeah.
I was amazed.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. But you know, talking about how everything was so packed, you got to think that was WVU Kansas State basketball game night, with WVU beating Kansas State pretty heartily.
Oh yeah. And you know, we figured that traffic would have been out of there by then because the game started at 2. We didn't get out of that show until 4:30, 5 o'clock. Or no, we didn't get out of that show till like 7:30.
Yeah, it was about 7:30.
So we thought that everything would be done and it wouldn't be that crowded by then. But man, was we wrong? Good Lord.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we seen some blazes of couches in the distant background there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Nice.
definitely a campus party that night. James was telling us that it was pretty exciting over there. He stayed with his son on campus at his place, and he needless to say, he had a pretty good awakening of what it used to be like in college.
Yeah, game night in Morgantown, you can walk down the street with a bag of hot dogs and marshmallows, man. You got a feast.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you chimed in there, Dave. We're going to talk about you now, kind of rolling, you know, moving into the production role here at On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls, because we're in an upgrade process. We've upgraded to the Rodecaster Pro so that we'll be able to do live podcasts, and we've got several different great events coming up, and we'll talk about those in a minute. But just tell us a little bit about your experience with the Rodecaster Pro and how that was.
Well, it's a pretty awesome piece of equipment. You know, when you look at it, it looks, you know, it's just like really small. You wouldn't think, this thing is, as amazing as it is, but I started diving into it, and it's got a lot of capabilities. It's going to be able to do anything we need to do as far as, live podcasts, recording in the same room and uploading it and stuff like that. Yeah, I just kind of dove into it, kind of did a deep dive this week, and I'm extremely impressed with what it is.
Yeah, so Dave has a background in music. He has is it a bachelor's degree or is it an associate's degree?
Bachelor's.
Bachelor's degree in music from
Yeah.
Alderson Broadus.
Yeah.
So that's right down in his alley. So
Yeah.
but that thing it's small, but it packs a powerful punch when it comes to the podcasting or even recording anything industry.
Absolutely. Just like I say, I mean, I'd watched a couple of videos before, getting it in my possession, and then, but it didn't even really scratch the surface of what all it is and what it can do, and really how simple it is. Honestly, the thing that I love about good equipment is just like the user interface, how usable it is for somebody to not have to, have a degree in how to use it, I guess. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's super intuitive, very easy to get from menu to menu, and make adjustments on the fly. So I'm excited. I'm actually very, very excited to use it on Saturday. We're going into to Cabela's to do a live podcast there, and I think we're going to be there. What is it, Mike? From sometime between 10. Is it between 10 and 2 or 10 and 3?
Yeah, their power
Something like
hours, what they call it, is usually from 11 to 3. So we're
11
going
to
to try to be there around 10:30 to set up. We're going to be set up right in the turkey section. So this is a big sale that they've got going on. It's the Spring Fishing Classic is this one. Then they're going to have another one on March the 18th, which will also feature turkey. But we're going to do a little mix of turkey hunting and fishing stuff both while we're there on Saturday. But March the 9th through the 29th is this sale that's going on at Cabela. So you guys, listeners out there, if you're in the area, come by Cabela's, see us. We'll be doing a live podcast from there. This is the Cabela's in South Ridge, 200 Cross Terrace Boulevard, Charleston, West Virginia, 25309. So big thanks goes out to Neil Depew for inviting us up and having us come up there and do this and kind of just networking and communicating with us on this sale and bringing us in on it. So
Yeah, it's great.
I think it's going to be really good. We're going to have Jeremy Allen. We're going to be interviewing Jeremy Allen. He's a pro staffer there for Cabela's, so I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be interesting. That'll be technically our very first live show. So
Absolutely.
y'all get to hear all these bloopers we edited out now. So get ready.
It's exciting. It's exciting.
Yeah,
it's going to be
a good one for sure. Yeah,
and I think Mike's having some technical difficulties.
Am I
right now? Yeah, absolutely. You're cutting really bad.
Cutting. Okay, let me check on that. Y'all go ahead and go hit on them other topics.
All right, so we got a couple more shows coming up this month. We got March the 17th through the 19th. Will be the West Virginia Bowhunters Association banquet at the Days Inn and Conference Center up in Flatwoods, West Virginia. I know I'll probably only be there on a Saturday this round. I'll help Michael on the Saturday, and I'm pretty sure him and Trevor will both be up there for the whole extent of it. Michael, you gonna be Trevor coming with you this time too?
How's that? Am I good now? I think it was just a lag in the internet there or something.
Yeah, I think so, Mike. You look good now.
Yeah. Now we're just going to be up there on Saturday. I think Friday setup is between 12 and 4, and they only have vendors from like 4 to 8 or something like that. So he said Friday wasn't really a big night for vendors. So we're just going to probably do the Saturday, which is an all-day thing. They open it up for vendors at 9 o'clock in the morning. So
You're not going to be
we'll
there
probably
Sunday?
no, we're going to be in the area because that's the start of the kids' spring break. So we're going to be doing some stuff with the kids there, but we're
I
just
gotcha.
going to be there having our turkey calls. We're going to have some True Timber stuff. We'll have some archery stuff from True Timber. We'll also have some products from Stick Tamer. I talked to Coy today, the owner of Stick Tamer, and he's one of our sponsors here that does an ad sponsorship with us. So you'll hear ads from him from time to time. But Coy's a great guy. That company's based out of Ohio. They make string silencers for recurves and compound bows, so both. So we'll have both of those up there to sell for him. So
Right. Good. That's good. Talking about Trevor being up there helping, he helped at the Morgantown show with us. And, he finally got started on learning a lot more about the calls there. He got to taping some, and I'll tell you what, he was doing better than Michael, Dave. He was getting them tapes. I mean, just
is this a competition?
No, it's not a competition, but Trevor's better. But for serious though, for him just starting out, figuring it out, how to learning how to tape that, the mouth calls up. Good. He was doing awesome. I was proud of him. Awesome. I know Mike was too.
I was very proud of him. It comes in steps because he's just gradually starting to get into doing things, and he cuts the latex and stuff like that, and he'll sit at the table with me when I'm peeling the tape off to tape the mouth calls. And the interest is peaked a little more every time we go to these shows, and he sees us interacting with people and seeing how you change people's lives in the outdoors with our products. That's the thing we're in this for. We're in this to keep youth in the outdoors. We're in this to teach the youth how the outdoors is and the things that you're supposed to be doing, when it comes to safety or when it comes to equipment, different things like that. So I think he's really enjoying that, and he's learning a lot from it too. So,
oh yeah, he is.
All right, so going back to the Cabela's Live podcast, so they're offering a broad range of high quality gear, from everything for the turkey hunter all the way up to your fisherman. I mean, Cabela's helps hunters increase their odds of nailing trophy gobblers every year. They'll have hunting experts and pros there to talk about different tactics and different things you can do for spring hunting and fishing, and it'll be an awesome opportunity if you're wanting to start something in the outdoors to come by, because you can learn a lot of stuff. And they have everything you need there: hunting boots, ground blinds, turkey decoys, turkey shotguns, ammo, choke tubes, turkey vests. I mean, anything that you're going to want on opening morning, they have it. Another one of our guests, hopefully that day. I still haven't got a full confirmation yet, but I spoke with her on the phone last week before our show, and that's Renee. She is our account representative at True Timber. We're a dealer for True Timber, so she's the one that we deal with on all of our account and orders and things like that, and she's going to do a live call-in on the podcast that day to tell us a little bit about the partnerships that Cabela's and Bass Pro Shop has with True Timber, and the different things that goes on there, and some of the new products that True Timber has coming out that you'll find in every Cabela's and Bass Pro Shop. So I think that'll be a great opportunity as well.
Oh yeah, that'll be good. Hopefully we can get that going, locked down. If not this one, maybe the next one. But talking about all the options they have for sale, unfortunately, we won't be able to be pushing our mouth calls or our slate calls, box calls for turkey hunting because of their stock that they already have in the store. But you can always get our product at naturesvoicegamecalls.com if you're looking. So don't forget to check that out and get your hunting needs there from us.
Yep, definitely. So, one of the things I was going to say, salute to Valor. That'd be a perfect time for that. So I think, Dan, you got that for this evening, don't you?
Yes, sir. I absolutely do. So tonight's salute to Valor is Rob Cherapica from Baltimore, Maryland. He's in the United States Air Force from 1989 to 1993. He was stationed at Robins Air Force Base in Georgia. He was discharged May the 14th, 1993. So we'd like to salute you, sir, for your service to our great country and everything you've done to protect all the Americans.
Yes, thank you, Rob, for your service. God bless you, sir. Rob's a great guy. He's a professional fisherman. He fishes here a lot within the state, all around the state. And one of the unique things that Rob does when he's fishing, he'll take a bucket with him. And when he's out fishing, he'll fill that bucket up full of trash. He will not leave the riverbank or wherever he's fishing without having that bucket full of trash. So Rob does not only go out there to fish and enjoy the habitat and, you know, the wildlife. He wants to keep it that way. So he brings some trash back with him. And I think that's something that we all should do. You know, something that I've always taught my son is if you take it in, it better be coming out with you.
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly with that statement. You know, with me, I scuba dive a lot too. So when I'm diving, especially up like Summersville, I have this little sack I carry with me because it's hard to say what I'll find. I got this little mesh bag that I clip on my side when I'm underwater. I could find, you know, I found GoPros and Apple Watches and iPhones and Samsung phones, you name it, I found it. Heck, I found a whole fishing pole set up, fishing rig set up, line, everything. Jig was still on it. Heck, I found a jig sitting in a fish's mouth. I let the fish go. But I always try to get as much crap out of there. I fill that bag up usually when I come out of the water. It's a shame to see how many beer cans people throw in the lake. It's ungodly. I mean, I could literally go down there and fill 5 55-gallon trash bags up at the ledges over by the dam where everybody jumps.
I think some people like it. It's like they don't have a conscience on some of this stuff. You know
No,
what I mean?
absolutely. You're right, Dave.
Like,
you know, it's
if I tried to do something like that, like I don't know, my heart would just be like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I don't get it.
yeah, exactly. Take a trash bag with you. It's not that hard, folks. I mean, literally, it takes 3 seconds to open a bag and throw it in there. Hey, guess what? You don't litter the places that you're enjoying. You know, thinking about that, how many times have you gone four-wheeling and some of the places you've used to go are now closed down because the people don't want people throwing their trash out on their land no more. So they shut it down. They gate it off. They block it off where you can't get on it. It's ridiculous. It takes no time to pick up your trash.
Yeah, absolutely. There's actually a place like that near my grandpa's farm, and you know, they call it the Falls, and you know, people would go down there and, you know, drink and party and everything else, and I mean, it was a beautiful place to go to, but you know, they gated all that stuff off and closed it all down because people weren't respecting the property. But yeah, I mean, it's all over the place. That's why you know, older people don't want folks fishing on their land. They don't want folks hunting on their land because nobody will take care of anything. And you know, you've even got guys that'll go out there and shoot anything that moves. I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, conservation is just a huge thing to be teaching kids. Huge. And the respect of God's creation. I don't know. I think.
Yep.
If I'm being honest, okay, and this will just go right in. We can do the verse of the day right now if you guys are ready for that. Are we going to do that?
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Unfortunately, with you not being on here, we don't have them all the time, Dave. So it's a pleasure to have you back on here for our verse of the day.
That hurts me. I'm glad to be on here with you guys. I got to tell you, I don't like missing it. So this is Romans 6:18, and of course it's out of the Passion. Anybody who listens knows. It says, "And now you celebrate your freedom from your former master, sin. You've left its bondage, and now God's perfect righteousness holds power over you as His loving servants." And you know, we were just talking there about, you know, about conservation, taking care of God's creation. I think that it's a huge thing that, like, the establishment, the powers that be, whatever, whoever you think they are, they want to tear down the family values. They want to tear down the family system. They want to tear down that God created everything. And so, kids are brainwashed, man, in school. You really have to watch with your kids what they're being taught at school, because they're being taught that God doesn't exist, that we all came from a big bang, none of which is anywhere close to logical when you actually break down what they're saying. But anyway, but when you do that, when you take God out of the history of the world and where everything came from, so number one, what's the meaning of life? So you've got teen suicides at an all-time high, and they keep going up. So why am I here? What's my purpose? Well, the Big Bang gives you no purpose. It's all evolution. We don't have any reason for being here. And you don't have a reason to take care of nature. You don't have a reason to strive to be a good person, because we're not created. We're not designed for anything. It's just all happenstance. It's just all, it's all by chance, right? But we really have to get that into our kids. Like, man, the way of the world is not the way of God. And
Nope.
Anyway, that's my rant for the day.
But yeah, you talking about conservation there, we all should be conservationists, we all should be taking care of our environment and the things that, the different habitats and things like that. Whatever we could do as humans to help preserve those and to keep those for, future generations and for everybody else to enjoy, we should be doing those.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, because if you don't take care of it, it'll go away. That's for sure. You'll ruin it.
Oh yeah, it'll fade away fast. That's for sure. Well, we're going to talk about our Summersville show coming up March 24th and 25th. I just spoke with Mary Ann today. We're trying to work out a thing with Hunt Chef. So I see you got your Hunt Chef hat on there tonight, Dan. Nice looking hat there.
That's right. Supporting the Hunt Chef Nation. Come on.
Yeah, Hunt Chef, man. I love them guys. They're so great.
Oh yeah, Kim.
Awesome.
Kim is awesome. She's a hoot. I'm gonna miss her. It's not gonna be her at the Summersville show. Unfortunately, it's gonna be Mike.
No,
her and Chef will be in Wisconsin Dells.
Yep. But Mike's a great guy too. He's great to deal with. He's the one that's always usually behind the camera filming Chef doing his thing. So
yep.
Mike's a really good guy. But so this show in Summersville will be March 24th, 25th, Friday, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Mary Ann does a great job at organizing this show. It's always well put together, as is the Morgantown show. I don't want anybody to think we're talking bad about the Morgantown show when we was talking about it earlier. There's just some things there that's changed that us vendors don't agree with, and we hope that, she takes into account our consideration and our opinions. So, but Mary Ann here at the Summersville show, she's got what she does is she'll bring in different famous people or TV personalities or different things like that, and she will have those people walk around the shows, and sometimes they'll set up a table and they'll have them go sign things and stuff like that. But most of the time, these people are walking throughout the show, drawing attention to different areas at different points of the day, and it's not always centralized in one location. So I think that's an amazing thing that they do. So this year they've got Duck Dynasty's John Godwin, and they've got Mountain Monsters William Wild Bill Neff, Jeff Hardley, and William McQuillan. Now, we met Wild Bill, Dan, while we was at the West Virginia Hunting and Fishing Show. He come up there here in Charleston last year.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna say
man,
we've met him a couple times actually.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's a hoot to hang out with. Good
Yeah, he's
Lord.
a good guy.
He's crazy. We got a video posted on our YouTube page where I was, I gave him. He asked about hoot owl calls. He was like, "Got any hoot owl calls?" I said, "Well, yeah, we got hoot owl calls." So I said, "Matter of fact, I got one right here. I had one around my neck, so I took it off and I gave it to him." He's like, "No, I ain't taking that. What makes you think that you can give that to me just because I'm on TV?" And I said, "No." I said, "I'm giving it to you because I want you to have it, not because you're famous." And he's like, it took him forever to take it, but I ended up having to almost wrestle him and stick it in his pocket there. So
I'm not
that's
sure
what
you'd
the
have won
video-
that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have won that. He's an
He's
old
a big guy.
old Marine, So we thank him for his service too. We'll have to get his information and salute him on the podcast one night. That'd be awesome. So other people that they have coming in is George Daniel. I'm not familiar with George Daniel. I'm sure he's some kind of a fly fisherman here in West Virginia. So he'll be there probably doing fly fishing seminars or something. I'm not sure. That's what it shows in his pictures. So
Yeah, we got another one coming in I'm pretty familiar with. I know my boy really likes him. It's the I Am Batman. So they're going to have the Batman there with his car. So you'll actually get to see the Batmobile. So that'll be pretty cool.
I was going to say, it's not just a car, it's a Batmobile, Dan.
Well, that's what I said. The Batmobile with his car, the Batmobile. Come on, stick with it.
Where are the other drugs
going?
Who else we got, Dan?
Let's see. We got also coming out. We're going to have we're going to have Barney Fife impersonator. So looking at him, I don't know, I'm very familiar with the Andy Griffith Show. I love it. One of my favorite shows ever. I watch it every chance I get. So the guy that's going to be the impersonator looks very, very similar.
Oh,
So that's going to be pretty cool.
Man, he's going to be there both Friday and Saturday. So is George Daniels. He's going to be there Friday and Saturday.
Right. Yeah, another thing with the whole Barney Fife thing, Don Knotts was Barney Fife, obviously. And Don Knotts was a native West Virginia boy.
Yep, sure was.
So, Don Knotts he was a heck of an actor.
I'm pretty sure he was born and raised in Bluefield, West Virginia.
I believe you're right. I do believe you're right.
All right, everybody. I believe that's going to do us for tonight. We just wanted to get on here and give you an update on everything we got going on. And we've got some other live podcasts coming up later on in the year that we're pretty excited about. We'll talk about those at a later time. But once we get all the details squared away for those are going to be here in the state.
Go
ahead.
I had to look that up. You're incorrect. He was not. Yes, you are. He was born in Morgantown.
Oh, Morgantown. Wow.
Yeah.
I know he had a house in Bluefield right there on East River Mountain.
Yep, he did. That's why I thought he was born there as well. But no, he was born in Morgantown, West Virginia.
Huh. Well, thanks for that fun fact of the day there, Dan.
And here's another good one for you. He went to WVU as well. He went to the.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Things that make you go,
Where are you getting this information from there, Dan?
The internet.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, I put it in there, so it may not be right.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy how you can change anything on Wikipedia and then it'll stay that way for a little bit and then it'll go back to something else?
Well, somebody has to change it back, so that goes to show you.
Who polices that?
Right, they have somebody checking it.
They've got to have somebody checking it to make sure the information's right.
Yeah, because if you went through and looked, there's been many times that some people's changed some Tom Brady stuff to some pretty good comedy there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's for sure. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening, and be sure to check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. We're there. So give us a like, give us a listen, and subscribe, and we appreciate everybody listening tonight. Everybody have a good night. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, y'all.
Yep, appreciate y'all listening. Till next time.
This segment of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by AMG Network Hosting, LLC, a national independent agent for most major telecommunication service providers. If your business is in need of internet, phones, credit card processing, let AMG Hosting help you compare options. They work with over 100 national carriers, and they can help you choose the best option for your needs. Our independence means we are loyal to our customers, not a brand or a company. Call us today at 304-608-3653 or visit us at amgnhconsulting.com. amgnhconsulting.com. Phone number again is 304-608-3653. AMG Network Hosting, LLC.